Biscayne Bay and Miami front and center for another Friday night of fights. Combate Global coming your way live on Paramount Plus and all over the world. Our friends at TUDN, Televisa, Canal 5, all over the world tuning in for this, and we're thrilled to have you in again for a night that will create memories for the fighters, for the broadcasters, for you at home. La Jaula awaits. Look at it, love it. It is showing off tonight. Look at the bright lights banging off that beautiful canvas. This is our main card coming your way, and the theme of the evening is bantamweight contenders. You have the number 3, Leo de Jario Muñiz. He's fighting Mauricio Cubillo. You have the number 4 ranked fighter in David Solorzano fighting in the main event. He fights the number 7 ranked Axel Osuna. Mariah Castro and Guadalupe Mateo also coming your way later on. But we begin with Gerardo Graniel and Santiago Monreal. This one coming your way in the flyweight division, 126-pound limit. Graniel, the pride of Campeche. Santiago Monreal from Mexicali. It's time to bring in Lupe Contreras.
Entrando a la jaula, Gerardo Graniel.
He wants to put Ciudad del Carmen, Campeche on the map. You said that before. Campeche up near the peninsula of Mexico. We know we get great fighters from Baja California, Chihuahua, Mexico City, Monterrey. But Mexico's a big place, and he wants to show that they can fight up in those parts as well. He is 5-3. Coming off a defeat in his last fight, April, to Chris Ocon, a TKO in the 3rd round.
He's needs to bounce back, get some victories here. You mentioned Ocon, and prior to that was Ignacio Ibarra. So these are some great competition that he took on. So he has to go ahead, bring this, forget about those defeats, start fresh to get back on that winning column.
Let's go back to Lupe.
Su oponente, Santiago Monreal.
Like Graniel, Monreal's a guy we've seen a lot in Combate. This is his 7th fight here. Trains in Mexicali, where we have seen some great fighters emerge with Combate and throughout MMA. Guy who's well trained for 12 years. Big fan of Canelo Alvarez. We'll see if he can throw like Canelo.
Well, I can tell you that he has great takedown defense and wrestling as well. Likes to slam his opponents when the opportunity is available. This man is on a winning streak. So see they continue on that momentum coming into this fight against the Terrier.
Let's show you face-to-face, head-to-head, or as we like to call it, cara a cara. We are in the flyweight division. Both guys hitting their weight. Both under the age of 30. 1-inch height advantage for the Terrier, Graniel, and 3 inches via the reach. Monreal, as Rodolfo pointed out, on a winning streak, looks to keep it. Graniel needs a win after back-to-back defeats against top 10 ranked flyweights. To the man of the hour, always Lupe Contreras.
Continuamos con un duelo mexicano, 3 vueltas, división peso mosca. We continue with an all-Mexican showdown, 3 rounds in the flyweight division. Los jueces son, the judges are Richard Green Jr., Byron Sellers y Eliseo Rodríguez. Presentando la esquina azul, presenting the blue corner, vestido de rojo, wearing red, su peso oficial, 124 libras y 3 cuartos, his official weight, 124 3/4 pounds, con un récord profesional de 7 victorias y 4 derrotas, with a pro record of 7 victories against 4 losses. De Ciudad del Carmen, Campeche, México, Gerardo Terrier Graniel. En la esquina roja, vestido de negro, in the red corner, wearing black, detuvo la báscula, un peso oficial de 125 libras y media. He tipped the scales at an official 125 1/2 pounds. Entra por 10ª vez a la jaula, con 6 victorias y 3 derrotas. He enters la jaula for the 10th time as a professional, with 6 victories against 3 losses. Puro Chicali, Baja California, México, Santiago Monreal. El referee, Iacobellis.
Iacobellis, the 3rd inside La Jaula.
All right, I gave you the instructions in the locker room. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. If you want to touch him up again, go ahead. Come out, fight. Judge. 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 Fight, are you ready? Fight, are you ready?
We are underway. An all-Mexico affair, as Lupe Contreras alluded to. Graniel with the mohawk, all in red.
Expect a quick pace here for both these guys. They'd like to bring it all the time. The Terrier sporting the red hair today.
Yeah, it's not a mohawk, it's just a ponytail, but it's pulled back tight. Gives the mohawk effect.
He switches from the green and the red, pay homage to Mexico. And then Monreal.
Good left hand by Monreal.
Yeah, very fast hands as well. This should be a very fast-paced fight.
Seventh fight, pardon me. Seventh fight, back-to-back wins for Monreal. Gerardo Graniel, how do we take away his last two defeats? Chris Ocon and Ernesto Ibarra, you could argue, two of the 3 or 4 best flyweights in Combate.
Correct. So he has no reason here to walk around with his head down. He took on some game opponents. I'm sure he took a look at those tapes, made some adjustments that he could apply here today against Santiago Monreal.
Graniel ducking out. He has been a little more aggressive. His nickname, Terrier, tells you how he is normally supposed to fight. We didn't see that aggressiveness, certainly against Ocon. Wants to bring it back.
But he did bring it against Ibarra. So let's see if he continues that in this one against Santiago. Because Santiago will bring that fight. He's going to push you. Just a matter if you return back.
They told Monreal to move forward, and he did. Good kick to the lead leg, one and done though for Graniel, and he packs all into the knee as well.
Great inside kick.
Monreal shadowing him there.
Stopping the movement from Monreal, but Monreal counters back with kick himself. Won't be surprised here though if Monreal attempts for a takedown.
Last fight for Monreal was May, a unanimous decision over Edwin Sadia. He did win via first-round guillotine on November of last year over Cesar Hernandez.
Oh,
Graniel goes down and Monreal pounces.
Monreal tried to take advantage of that opportunity when Terrier was on the floor.
Trying to go for that ankle. He's stuck in a very awkward position. Graniel is happy to keep him there.
Well, look, searching for...
Looking for that ankle, still working down the leg. Keeps moving.
Monreal searching. Graniel getting out of here. It's an awkward position here, but he does have that howler. He needs to scoop him in. Not doing much here in this position. Either man, actually. Wouldn't be surprised if Iacobellis says something if there's no action. Yeah, there he is. There it is. Telling him to move, to work.
Yeah. That's what Combate wants.
Graniel could lay some shots here. That left hand is free. If he frees that left hand, he can lay some shots on Monreal. There we go. And now he does have that back. Maybe hook the legs.
But he's got the ankle out of harm's way, but now Monreal's moving to the arm, under the left arm, trying to get Graniel into a compromising position.
Yeah, he's trying to get some hooks in there, reverse his clinch.
Monreal, first fight, February 2019 with Combate. First round TKO over Eber Castillo.
Monreal
went on a 3-fight losing streak, but he's picked up the pieces. Look, before he won those last 2 fights, you were wondering where his future lied. He was in a perilous situation, but he has fixed a few things in his game, and he comes in this fight. You can see the confidence in Monreal. 1 minute to go.
More clinch work here. Maybe Graniel will lay in some knees. Switch to hooks, taking him down.
Suplex there.
Yeah, he
side control.
Right, he put in that right leg to sweep him and take him down. Now Monreal needs to get off this position. He was having much impact in the stand-up game. Let's go, Gerardo. You have to work. Graniel needs to do something here, though.
He gets the warning from Iacobellis. 30 seconds to go.
Can't just lay down on your man. Now
Trying to mount.
Yeah, he's trying to get that mount. Monreal does have that left leg prohibiting from finishing it. Graniel needs to do something, or not. Allen will stand this fight up.
And there's also an issue of the clock up against it, and now they know there's 10 seconds remaining. Monreal can just soak it up. Now, perhaps Graniel has done enough to win the round. We'll go to round 2. Even Stevens here between these two fighters.
All right, let's take a look at the highlights here in the first round. Low kick from Monreal, followed up by Graniel. He feinted that punch, but he tried to go for the kick. He lost his footing there and fell. Monreal took advantage of it. However, this fight went right back to the floor. It was an awkward position here. Not much action to be from either man. Then, sweeping in here to the floor, Monreal goes a tussle and bustle there. But the fight concluded, ready for the second round.
Second round begins here, and remember, big advantage when it comes to submissions for Monreal in black. 4 submission victories in his 6 wins. Graniel, 4 knockout victories in his 5 victories. 0 submissions.
Yeah, Graniel needs to use that jab. Needs to use that jab, then set it up with those kicks he's doing, the side kicks, which are vicious. Conor McGregor's known for those kicks. Great overhand right by Monreal. Nobody home, but if it would have connected, could have been an all she wrote.
Gerardo Graniel, a very off-kilter way he got into MMA or to combat sports. He started to train. A boxer hit him without any warning. And then he said, that's never going to happen again. So he got into it with Jim, started fighting. He's turned out to be a really good one. Trains with the Bone Breakers. Make sure you check out the new reality show on VIX. The top gyms, some of the top gyms of the world competing inside La Jaula. And that includes Bone Breakers.
You got the show Gold Shed Academy.
Sexton down there in San Fernando Valley in California. Graniel gets the nod in the first round across the board. That's the official scoring. That is not a projection. That is what the judge scored. So Graniel is winning this fight officially.
Yeah, and kudos goes to that whole takedown, especially at the end where he had to control, just wasn't enough to sway the judges to give that first round to Graniel. Lots of work here in the clinch. Graniel studied law, and smart man in there.
They're all smart. They're all college
Crazy
educated.
to think, huh?
It's
Very smart
across,
dude.
and in Mexico, there is a real connection for young athletes, young Mexican boys and girls getting college education. It's made available, and you can see it when they talk. And this is, make no mistake, this is a mental game.
Those side kicks, and he just keeps pressuring with those side kicks. They're so vicious. I mean, it could break your meniscus if they were to, hit the kneecap.
Halfway through this second round, Monreal just missed over the top with a big show. Graniel backing off. Not the fast pace of the first round by any means.
Monreal looks at his guard. Kind of deceiving at times because it seems like it's going to be low, but he knows how to use it quite well. And it could throw your opponent off.
A reminder that the fighters can get that information about the official scoring, and we assume they have been told. So Monreal knows he's trailing. Graniel, on all accounts, knows he's winning this fight. They don't have to have that information. Maybe they refuse it. I don't see why. But we're going to start asking the fighters. Do you take that information? It's a great resource, but maybe you don't want to hear it.
It can make a whole difference in the fight game.
Sometimes these corners don't want their fighters to know they're winning. We hear it all the time. There's 20 seconds on the clock, and they're saying 30 seconds. They're pushing their guys because they know they need to be pushed.
Well,
Mauricio caught him!
Oh!
I don't know, Graniel's he's hurt. I don't think he's hurt.
He's all right. He recuperated, but it connected.
That was flush. And now Monreal with a chance to build off of that and get this second round. He's got to follow up. You can't just win it on one kick.
With that open scoring, Max, it really, I would say, to the discretion of the coach. The coach knows the fighters. If you're in the second round or in the third round and you know your fighter's winning, but you know the type of fighter that you have, maybe he tends to be a little bit more cool, calm, doesn't want to push the pace in the third round. Do I let him know? Or I don't let him know so he can go ahead and get the finish. So it's really a discretion of the coach, in my opinion. But then again, fighter could say, hey, coach, let me know where I'm at. I want to know how I'm doing. Because you don't want to be too comfortable knowing that you're winning in that third round, because every single second counts. You have to always protect yourself, no matter if you're ahead or not.
Into the mount for a moment. Monreal finishing this round very well. Maybe a rear naked choke. I just don't think he is going to have enough time as we reach the end of round 2. 2 rounds under our belts is going to go to a third round. It could be decisive, depending on the scoring of that second round. But certainly, Monreal put himself in position to win it.
Yeah, this round here, we take a look at the highlights. Look at that beautiful head kick. Man, Graniel felt that one, but he was able to compose himself in that clinch, able to recover, beautifully connected. Oh boy, that's gonna leave a mark tomorrow, I'll tell you that much, as we get ready for this final chapter. Gerardo giving the final word before we head to the final round. And then
back here for round 3. We're going to find out the scoring here for round 2. And Rodolfo, I get the feeling Monreal may have done enough with the kick, with the takedown.
This could be a 1-1. This is going to be the decisive round right here. Oh, great exchange from both men there. Graniel picking up the pace here. You saw how that bobbing and weaving and throwing in the shots.
You could hear that one.
Monreal, though, slowed down the pace.
Now holding Murillo, he will hold there, but he has got Graniel, who got an explosive start to this third round. You could hear it, snapping kick.
Iacobellis giving that warning to work in this position. Shocking, because lately we've been seeing so many. This is a great opportunity for foot stomps. Haven't seen it from Monreal. Had a good chance there. Now Monreal tried to go for the takedown. Graniel defending himself quite well, preventing this takedown from going all the way down. But look at Graniel's hands. Look where he has it. Oh. Gonna scoop up his hips, escape.
Little spin there to get on terra firma for Graniel, clubbing away at Monreal.
If he's fast enough, he's able to get that leg out the way, spin around, and he'll have Monreal's back.
Max Bretos, Rodolfo Roman calling all the action live here on Paramount Plus. Iacobellis is going to break them up. This has been a really evenly matched fight. We always talk about the matchmaking. This one's perfect. Nothing separating these two guys.
I don't want to be the judges if this fight goes the distance. I'll tell you that much, Max.
These guys don't go the distance a lot. Certainly not when they win.
And here's that open scoring. Whoa!
We are even. That he did enough. And it wasn't just the kick, the head kick. I think that takedown was required. So hats off to Monreal.
We got even. This is going to decide everything for all the marbles.
Graniel ducking away. He started his career 4-0. doesn't want to get that taste of defeat. Again, good left hand right under the jaw.
Man, Monreal connected, and Graniel another one, great body shot. Beautiful, he connected to the body and followed up with a cross from Graniel. And then the low kick.
A little fake there by Monreal allows him to get into close quarters.
So far, very well for Graniel in this round.
Holding tight there.
Graniel's corner telling that Monreal is tired.
Graniel preventing the takedown beautifully. 2 minutes to go here in the final round.
That's when Monreal's switching this here to the clinch. So he can catch some break. Graniel was having a lot of impact with the striking. He wants to take this fight to the center of La Jaula.
Gets the back up.
He has that back. That right leg, Graniel right there could use it to bring down Monreal to the ground.
Oh, those sting. And Monreal collapses.
Yeah, he's putting all that weight. Need to, that right leg. Although I don't think that connected in that hamstring area.
Well, Monreal's 3-fight winning streak in major peril now. Graniel with a strong third round. 1 minute 15 to go. Monreal gets vertical again.
Graniel still hanging on. Monreal was looking for an elbow to strike.
Oh, he's frustrated. He knows he's caught here and there's no time.
There, that Graniel right there. That's going to be very impressive for the judges.
He's covered. He's over the top of the legs. The problem is he's up against the jaula.
Yep. Monreal is tired. He is tired.
Pooped. And now he's getting mounted completely, and he is in a very awkward situation. Now he is flat on the canvas.
Graniel needs to show action. If not, Iacobellis will stand this up.
He's in a great position. He can't let this get away from him.
No, he can't. He needs to put that action here.
And Monreal trying to keep him tight quarters. Good rib shots.
He has less than 20 seconds. He needs to keep doing that to impress the judges if he wants this fight to go to distance or go for the finish. There it is.
He explodes in action, gets the back.
He might even look for a rear naked choke if available, Max. Knee to the side.
They're asking for knees.
There we go.
Doesn't get the finish, but looks like he got the victory based on the scores from the first 2 rounds. Graniel had his best round in the third.
Good enough work here for Graniel. I think he'll take this bout, get back in the winning column.
And a shout out to the folks in Campeche, I'm sure.
Mi nombre es Mauricio Cubillo, vengo de Santa Ana, San José, Costa Rica, tengo 34 años. Empecé peleando en algún momento con algún amigo que me incursionó en lo que fue en aquel momento el jiu-jitsu. Jamás nunca imaginé poder vivir de esto.
Mauricio, Pupi.
Debo admitir que en algún momento cuando empecé a ver a Lupe en transmisiones hace años atrás, te voy a ser sincero, lo soñé, como que él gritara mi nombre. La vez que competí por primera vez para Combate Global, cuando Lupe dijo mi nombre, sentía que corría sangre por mis venas. De mi contrincante sé que es una persona amante del jiu-jitsu brasileño, le gusta intercambiar golpes, bueno, en striking es un peleador bastante completo y en la cual lo admiro mucho, la verdad. Esta pelea creo que termina, es una pelea difícil dentro de la jaula, no va a ser nada fácil para él. Acá los únicos afortunados son ustedes, público televidente. Leodegario, muchas gracias por la oportunidad. Estoy una vez más acá en una de las mejores ligas como lo es Combate Global. Le tengo tanto respeto que me preparé a conciencia y estamos listos. Espero que el sentimiento sea mutuo.
Welcome back, getting ready for the official decision. We don't know for sure, but Gerardo Graniel, who's just won one of his last 4 fights, really needs this. We think he did enough to get it. Let's find out. To Lupe Contreras.
Los 3 jueces entregan tarjetas idénticas de 29 a 28. All 3 judges turn in identical scores of 29-28 in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. A favor del ganador por decisión unánime. Gerardo Terrier Graniel.
Huge for Graniel, who was a main event guy, slipped down to the prelims. Now he hopes to make it back up. Putting in the work, he looks great. That was a tough opponent coming in on a 3-fight winning streak.
Let's take a look at the highlights, Max. Graniel back in the winning column, Monreal. That winning streak has come to an end. Graniel attempted that high kick, lost his footing there. Lots of clinch work from this position. Not much going on. Then Graniel, the hooks reversed here. Transition, exchange from both men. Graniel with a nice hook. Follow through. And it was his head kick here that we thought that, well, let's see if Graniel could recover. He surely did. It looked so good, we had to see it twice. Great clinch work here. Monreal trying to scoop down Graniel to the finish off the takedown. However, that wasn't the case. Graniel working the body, throwing in the cross, but lots of momentum from Graniel. If we look at this referee cam shot, and this is what won him right here. He had lots of control on the ground game in that last round, which swayed the judges to give the victor to the Terrier, once again back in the winning column. As we take a look at the stats, Max.
They are pretty efficient amount of strikes. A lot of the fight, I think, was used up in the takedown attempts, of which Graniel had 2-1 edge. He also led in strikes. Stats certainly say Graniel won it, and he did. Santiago Monreal, a 27-year-old, will have to get back to it from the fighting city of Mexicali. Much more Combate Global coming your way. Don't go anywhere, live on a Friday night. We are in Miami, as you know. Combate Global emanating here every Friday. Another great card, and more from our prelims. Important stuff here for Carlos Reyes as he looks to show everyone that he has the talent that everyone says he has. Mason Iacobellis will not be an easy opponent. To Lupe we go.
Entrando a la jaula, Mason Iacobellis.
25-year-olds. Mason Iacobellis has been a man who's dealt with injuries his entire career. He's had surgeries on his knees. He's had a broken arm, a concussion. He loves to compete. Fought in November of last year. He won via first-round knockout. So he's feeling pretty good about where he's at, eager to get back inside La Jaula.
He had some fights canceled, so he's been itching to get back into action. He has that opportunity here tonight when he steps inside La Jaula for the first time. Looking forward to action of this young man.
Back to Lupe Contreras.
Su rival, Carlos Reyes.
Carlos Reyes, he is number 4 in the flyweight rankings. His amateur status shows a guy who has produced at a very high level, and now fighting 3 wins in his last 5 and a victory last time out in May. He is looking to build off of that and make some headway as a 125-pounder. Trains with the Blaxicans, ready to go.
He's been a Combate guy, started his professional career back in 2019, taking on Anthony Aguilar. He was only 19 years old at that time, Max. He won it by knee bar in the first round, 46 seconds, so promising young man.
Time now to go head-to-head, cara a cara. 2 young fighters, Mason Iacobellis making his Combate debut. As Rodolfo pointed out, Carlos Reyes has done a lot with this company, just 22 years of age. He comes in at 5'5", 1 inch shorter than Iacobellis, all level at reach. This was gonna be a flyweight. They come in at a catch weight of 130 pounds. To Lupe Contreras, if you will.
Este duelo, 3 vueltas a un peso pactado a 130 libras this bout. 3 rounds at a catch weight of 130 pounds. Los jueces, the judges, Dorian Mirasola, Richard Green y Byron Sellers. Y ahora, Damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando la esquina azul, vestido de azul con blanco, presenting the blue corner. Wearing blue with white, su peso oficial 130 libras. His official weight 130 pounds. A nivel profesional, mantiene un récord de 2 victorias y 2 derrotas. As a professional, he maintains a record of 2 victories against 2 losses. Fighting out of Temecula, California, Mason Iacobellis. Su oponente en la esquina roja, vestido de rojo con blanco, his opponent in the red corner, wearing red with white. Sobre la báscula, marcó un peso oficial de 129 libras y 3 cuartos. On the scales, he registered an official 129 3/4 pounds. Y a nivel profesional, mantiene un récord de 3 victorias y 2 derrotas. As a pro, he has a record of 3 victories against 2 losses. Fighting straight out of TJ, Tijuana, Baja California, México, el Chacal, Carlos Reyes. El referee, Marcos Pérez.
Marcos Pérez, the third inside La Jaula.
Fighter, I'm here. So, you already know the rules. I want a clean fight, okay? Follow my command at all time. Ya sabes las reglas, okay? Una pelea limpia, okay? Obedecen en todo momento, okay? Touch your glove if you want. Go to your corner. You ready? ¿Ya listo? Combate.
We are underway. Round 1. Again, 2 guys who will be in the flyweights meeting in a catch weight. For tonight's matchup, it is Iacobellis in blue.
Iacobellis training with Dan Henderson Fitness Center. Has good leg kicks. Wrestling will come and play here, very handy. Reyes, great stand-up, great striking. Will be very effective here in this fight against Iacobellis.
Again, all 5 of his fights in Combate for Carlos Reyes, man known as Chacal. This is over the top.
You can hear Iacobellis, his corner saying, let the mans go. Interesting note, Iacobellis defeated Rick Salada
Slick
in his
Rick.
amateur, right before his last amateur fight, before he turned pro.
2 good California fighters. Good kick and left hand hook there from Reyes. Iacobellis, 2 wins in his professional career, both via TKO, both in the first round. So he has some knockout power.
Yeah, Reyes just calculating where to strike. Iacobellis very, very patient. Swapping away those kicks.
And he caught on that lead leg. That one snapped from Reyes.
Just feeling each other out in this first round. Iacobellis switching that stance.
Reyes, who's gone through some trauma in his MMA career in February of 2020. One of his head coaches gunned down. That made him stop training. The gym was closed. Did not have a place to go train. Later he found his way to Entram and has been able to build back really a nice situation despite all that trauma, which has to set you back.
Yes, beautiful.
He's had a full camp. He feels good about this. He's in great shape.
Iacobellis needs to check those kicks. Reyes coming in.
Throws some back.
Reyes too.
Just sitting targets there, those lead legs.
Great positioning from Iacobellis. He has those, my coach likes to call them binoculars for that guard.
I wonder why. Again, Iacobellis, excellent as an amateur. He won the California Bantamweight Amateur title, as you said.
Yeah.
Getting to train in Dan Henderson's gym.
Oh, great exchange from both men. And both of them came with power.
More lead leg damage from Iacobellis to Reyes. 2 minutes to go in this opening round.
Lots of power between these two dudes.
A little feint by Iacobellis. Both hitching to counter, but do have to take the front foot from time to time, and Iacobellis does there.
Oh, great switch kick.
A little low high. Great athleticism from Reyes, who has that in his toolkit. Iacobellis keeping that guard up, as is Reyes. Showing a lot of respect for the kicks of their opponent.
And these are 125ers, but they pack a punch. Great shot to the body. Great, oh, he nearly finished that takedown.
Iacobellis with a single leg.
Reyes using La Jaula.
1 minute to go. Round one.
Oh, threw it in, snuck in that elbow, but missed it.
1 minute, baby.
Iacobellis moving out. Tries to change those lines a little bit, but Reyes not biting. Sets up that nice overhand right with the jab.
Iacobellis again just waiting for him to throw. Because Reyes seems to be the one that more on the offense here. He's the one that's striking a bit more than Iacobellis. He's more the patient one between these two.
Good kick into the ribs there by Iacobellis. He doesn't go high enough time. 15 seconds to go. When they get tangled up, it gets hairy in there.
Yeah, they're not afraid to trade.
Flurry of a finish here from Reyes. Iacobellis doesn't give him too much to show as he postures up defensively. We'll head to round two. Reyes getting some coaching there in between rounds.
Let's take a look at the highlights here, Max. Iacobellis trading in Reyes, though. Beautiful shots taken. That powerful right hand cross throwing in, and when they get in the pocket, both men exchanged. They weren't afraid to go toe-to-toe. If that's the ending of that first round, continues into the second and third round, boy, we got ourselves a treat. Those are some hard hits coming from both men.
Back here for round two, there is Carlos Reyes, a ranked flyweight here in Combate Global, but he's going to have to put some wins together if he wants to stay. There's so many good fighters right now in that division. We're going to see Mikey Reyes, the #1 next week. You have Stallion Ibarra. Chris O'Con, who I believe was undefeated last you checked, there at #5. And Gerardo Graniel, who we just saw, looking to make a move upwards.
Great wrestling right there from Iacobellis, but Reyes, good defense on his hand, not allowing the takedown to go full through. Opportunity here for Iacobellis to land some shoulder shots from this position, but he also just decided to throw some hands. Lots of feigning from both these men. That's what you're going to need.
Iacobellis gets the nod from all three judges. Again, that's official scoring. Iacobellis is winning this fight.
Yeah, but I agree with that. His shots were the one that were precise. They struck. Reyes maybe threw a little bit more, but didn't connect as much as Iacobellis. Great low
USA
kick.
versus Mexico here. That's the sweet spot for Combate Global.
Reyes' corners say to take the leg from Iacobellis, the kick. So he could slow down Iacobellis.
Reyes winning in May of 2022. Prior to that, a decision loss to Humberto Duarte in November of 2021. Did beat Germán Orpineda July of 2021. Prior to that, a loss to Paul Elizondo, but he's been an active fighter over the last 3 years for Combate Global. A little staggered out. Would love to start piecing a little more frequently the fight as they get in the clinch.
Iacobellis is just waiting for him to come in. That's what Reyes been doing. He comes in, he throws maybe about 3 shots in there, and he's just waiting to connect with that cross when that opening is available. He should work the body though, and the kicks. Great, there's another kick. Blocked very well from Reyes.
Now Reyes has to really put his foot on the pedal here. Iacobellis probably with the information that he won the first round, easing into round 2. But certainly now in a situation with 2 minutes and change to go, where he can take this round in 2 and put himself in a commanding position. Single leg.
Let's see if he finishes it off. Reyes has been very good. He doesn't have the help of the howler here to sustain it. Whoa, there he is.
Drops
now,
him.
That was giving him his back, Max. I'm sure Iacobellis maybe might even trip and take Reyes down to the floor.
This is great business for Iacobellis again in his Combate debut. Last fight, November last year, first round knockout.
Reyes broke that grip, slamming him down, now giving him the back.
Oh, he's got the back clean.
He may be in trouble, Max.
A lot of time still here in the second round as well.
Plenty of time. He can lay those shots in there, break down Reyes.
Reyes not defending himself.
Nope, and he can look for that opportunity for a rear naked choke. Oh, he was on the floor, but now some knee shots from Iacobellis here will be great.
Fingers in the cage. The Iacobellis corner saying, wear on him here. I think you got the idea of what they mean.
And it could wear Reyes out. All that body weight on his body could drain you from this clinch position.
Iacobellis sneaks in a knee, elbow for Reyes, and then I have some separation. Reyes is going to have to really get on his horse here to win this round.
You could hear the Reyes' corner saying, pressure him, pressure him, pressure him. Rightfully so. And now trying to attempt for a flying knee, but Iacobellis straight to the ground. Not going to be able to finish his takedown there. That howler's in the way.
Iacobellis showing his athleticism. He's been an athlete his whole life, played football, basketball, other sports, got into martial arts. Mom wasn't on board. Eventually they got him at the age of 15 in a gym, which led to Dan Henderson's fitness center, as we touched on earlier, and you can see
been there
know-how.
since.
Yep.
Been there since. He has not stopped.
We're reaching the end of round 2, and looks like Iacobellis is taking a firm hold of this fight. So here we go, getting ready for the third and final round with everything to fight for. I would think Reyes needs something real big.
He needs to pick up the pace. He attempted that flying knee, but Iacobellis read it from a mile away, catching the leg, trying to go for the takedown. Couldn't finish it because the howler was in the way, but Iacobellis is very impressive here with these knees, these shots, very patient, waiting for Reyes to come in, capitalizing it. Take a look at the referee camera angle here. He landed some shots there looking for something to open up, but the fight went right back to the feet. He went for that knee. Again, Iacobellis caught it. Ready for the last round.
Here we go, getting ready for round 3. And there is Mason Iacobellis closing in. We'll find out if he won the second round. There's an embrace for him and Reyes. Iacobellis just fighting a really smart fight, and he has put up a shield, and Reyes has been unable to break through, and he's been caught a couple times, and that's been the difference.
Very strategical, very smart. Not feeding into a Reyes fight game. Every shot that he takes means something as we go to the open scoring, Max, rightfully so. You see there, Iacobellis
not
ahead.
Surprising there. So Reyes needs to win and probably finish this fight.
Shot to the groin area there.
That's not going to get him any extra points unless it happens again.
He does have that opportunity to get 5 minutes if chosen, as we take a look at the highlight. And
Ooch-a-magooch.
Ran right into it.
Rip that too.
He's ready to go. Didn't use up his 5 minutes.
Stay sharp, baby.
Now Iacobellis, he's not really changed as we again give you a look at the score. Hasn't changed his stand-up. Has kept the binoculars on, as you like to point out.
Pump to make him drop.
And Reyes just doesn't like it. It's been a bad matchup for him.
Has not switched his game plan. Same thing. He'll go for the shot, and then as soon as Reyes comes in,
Wow, another big drop.
he'll grab the leg, and oh, he nearly caught him with that kick.
Man, got the knee of Iacobellis right above his eye. Yeah, it's bothering him.
Like the shin and knee. It was like right between the middle. Reyes just keeps doing the same thing over and over again. Is that 1-1 jab and then follows with a cross. And Mason has read him like a book. As soon as he does that, goes right for that league leg for the takedown. Hasn't finished because every time Reyes just backs himself up to the jaula, prohibiting him to completing it. Iacobellis is playing a good fight. You know, he's the one that's just countering anything that he brings. He lets him come in and pulls a trick out from the hat and stops him.
Hey, off the split stance, that body kick's open.
Iacobellis, steady Eddie right now. It's worked for him, it's a game, and he's sticking to it. And not giving any oxygen to Reyes. Reyes kicks, but it's blocked.
Iacobellis just using those feints to look for Reyes to open up and go for a body kick again.
Watch the break.
Knee to the body.
Yes. High hands, high hands. Halfway through.
Reyes' corner telling him 2 minutes left.
More output for Iacobellis with his punches and his kicks connecting. It's not high volume, but it's effective as he switches stances.
They've had their moments, Max. There's been a little bit of high intensity work between these two men, but comes in certain times. Oh!
Iacobellis got him moving backwards.
Yeah, Reyes still works the body. I know he has less than 2 minutes to go here, but working that body will do a number on Iacobellis.
Now 90 seconds to go, and Reyes does not come up with any new ideas.
No, it's just the same thing over and over again for Reyes. He's jab, 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 cross, kick. That's it.
And he's not a finisher. His 5 pro fights, 1 submission. No knockouts. Now he's flowing.
Now he's picked up the pace here.
Drops
Taking him down.
Iacobellis.
Okay, that's something new we
Here's
saw,
something.
yeah.
Now Reyes has to find that opportunity.
If only he would have brought this earlier on in the fight.
Yep. Well, it's still, it's a minute 7. It just takes a second to lock something in. Iacobellis has been really smart throughout.
He's gonna rip that grip that, well, he had. He's gonna get up. He's gonna break it. He has the tools here to get off from this clinch and take the fight to the middle of the jaula.
Watch here.
I love how the corner just tells him you have 40 seconds, and there's like almost a minute left just to really push Reyes to go for the kill.
Marco Perez will separate them with 23 seconds. It doesn't look like it's Carlos Reyes' night. He gets another single leg, at least competing to win this round. But as we showed you, Iacobellis has rounds 1 and 2 in the bank.
Yeah, not enough. You're a little too late for Reyes.
Well, we're going to go the distance. We are also heading to the main card at the top of the hour.
No, he tried to go for that judo throw. But it wasn't there, Max.
I was impressed by Iacobellis.
Yeah, good stuff.
We'll see where it goes for these two. We'll get the official decision when we return. It would appear Iacobellis will get his arm raised.
This young man, 15 years old, started training MMA, hasn't stopped since. That's a great stuff.
We are back. It's gone the full 3 rounds inside La Jaula. We now await the official decision. Mason Iacobellis on your left and Carlos Reyes in a big one in the flyweights. Let's go to Lupe.
El juez Sellers anotó 30-27 after 3 rounds of much more action. Judge Sellers scores it 30-27. Y los jueces Green y Mirasola entregan tarjetas de 29-28. Judges Mirasola and Green Jr. score the bout identically at 29-28. All in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. Los tres a favor del ganador por decisión unánime. Mason Iacobellis.
So a couple of the judges giving Reyes the 3rd round. So there's something to take away from this experience. But Mason Iacobellis, pretty clean in those first 2 rounds. Had the takedowns when he needed, applied the pressure, and he's 1-0 in Combate, and now 3-2 in his MMA career.
Successful debut for this young man. I'm sure we'll be seeing him inside La Jaula very soon.
And we see what's next for Iacobellis. A lot of good flyweights there. There's a lot of matchmaking within the category. He's got to make sure he gets down to that weight. As he was pretty convincing here against Carlos Reyes.
And let's take a look at some of the highlights. It was Reyes. Same thing, you know, just throwing in jab, jab, cross, every hooks. And as he'll come in, Mason will read him from a mile away like the Matrix and pick up that leg and try to get him down for a takedown. But Reyes would pedal back and use La Jaula, not allowing him to fall through. It was this position here where he nearly had something going on, but it just wasn't enough because the round ended. And then again, slam here by Mason. Reyes, though quick to react, got on his feet. Another opportunity for a takedown, but Reyes, good defense on his end, I'll give him that. But it was just a lot of the same thing over and over again, if not until the last round where he changed gears and we saw something new from Reyes. He attempted to take down Mason, now used the wrestling as advantage, but it was too little, too late. Mason takes the victory. Congratulations, young man.
That's got to feel good. And these guys go through a lot as we look at the stats. Pretty even there, although Iacobellis up with punches, kicks. Big advantage in takedowns. There is where the fight was won. David Solorzano, Axel Osuna, also Gerardo Muñiz taking on Mauricio Cubillo. There is Solorzano, the man known as the Silent Killer. It's a heavy nickname, but when you talk to him, it's not a nickname that really comes to mind. But inside the Jaula, it rings true. 4-0. But this will be his toughest test in maintaining that undefeated record against a fighter, Axel Osuna, who is probably should be undefeated. One that got away against Reyes Cortez Jr. back in June of last year.
That's Fernanda Larios, also competed inside La Jaula. She's gonna be in Axel's corner. I can think of one man who has done that, and that's Mike Platinum Perry, who brought his girlfriend on his side. But the difference here is that Fernanda fights.
Sure is, and there is Mariah Castro, waiting for the featured women's bout.
My name is David Solorzano. I'm fighting out of Dragon House MMA from San Francisco, California, Bay Area. My next opponent is Axel Osuna. One of his strengths, I say, is contending with his takedown. So just to try to sprawl as much. I've been working on that a lot. I've been working with a lot of good guys lately. Looking forward to this fight. Can't wait. It's gonna be a good one. It's still a fight at the end of the day. It doesn't matter if he's the golden boy or whatever, or the chosen one. I'm gonna go in there, still do my game plan, execute it, and go for the win every time. I don't really dwell on the past, but it does light a fire under me because I don't want to feel that feeling ever again. I want to stay winning. I want to protect that O as much as possible. Like I don't want to have that feeling anymore, being a loser, because it's not fun. Obviously, I'm going to be a little nervous. If I say I wasn't nervous, I'm lying to you. But I am a little nervous, but I use that and turn it into positivity. So when I'm like calm and stuff, as soon as I get to the dressing room or backstage, I feel good, confident. And then my coach just says, close the gate, let the dog out, and that's it.
We are in Miami. It is a Friday night. For some on the East Coast, it's ticked over to Saturday a.m., which is still early days for Miami, as you know, when anyone visited. You could be out or you could be home watching Mucho Más Acción. And we have it for you. A main event that we have been looking forward to a long time. Bantamweights rule supreme in Combate Global. You're going to see 3 top 10 fighters in that division coming up here shortly. Glad that you could join us. My name is Max Bretos, along with Rodolfo Roman, and we're ready to take you inside La Jaula. The featured bout, David Solorzano and Axel Osuna, USA versus Mexico. If you are new to Combate Global, a reminder that you fight for your country here, but you fight for so much more. A chance, perhaps with a victory, to challenge David Martinez, the current bantamweight champion. Leo Dejario Muñiz also wants a title shot if he is able to beat the Tico, Mauricio, Cubillo. Mariah Castro and Guadalupe Mateo also coming your way in a bout that my colleague Rodolfo says is going to exceed billing. We are ready to get all the action. Let's get ready for our next fight and what lies ahead tonight.
When I walk into the cage, I feel alive. It's the best feeling in the world. It brings you to a whole new level because it makes you very primal. My name is Gerardo Muñiz. I am 32 years old and I am coming from Bronx, New York.
Jamás nunca imaginé poder vivir de esto y llegar a lugares como lo es Combate Global, una de las mejores empresas de todo el mundo. Mi nombre es Mauricio Cubillo, vengo de Santa Ana, San José, Costa Rica, tengo 34 años.
I just know that he's a game guy, has good experience, but there's levels to his game.
Es una pelea difícil, no va a ser nada fácil para él, pero va a ser algo que todo el mundo quiere ver.
I'm coming in with a lot of pressure, a lot of speed, and a whole different level that you haven't seen.
Que me preparé a conciencia y estamos listos.
Leo Dejario Muñiz, Mauricio Cubillo coming your way right now. Muñiz ranked number 3 in the bantamweights. Let's go cara a cara, both 5'6", a half-inch reach advantage for Cubillo, so nothing separating those two guys. We are at the 136-pound limit, both fighters hitting their weight. Only one way to take it from here to Lupe Contreras.
Las reglas oficiales de la jaula, 3 vueltas de 5 minutos, 3 jueces utilizando el sistema de 10 puntos. Este duelo en la división peso gallo, this bout. In the bantamweight division, los jueces son, the judges are, Eliseo Rodríguez, Dorian Mirasola y Richard Green Jr. Presentando la esquina azul, vestido de azul, presenting the blue corner, wearing blue. Su peso oficial, 135 libras y un cuarto, his official weight, 135 1/4 pounds. En 16 combates profesionales, mantiene un récord de 10 victorias y 6 derrotas. In 16 pro bouts, he maintains a record of 10 victories against 6 losses. Representando a Santa Ana, San José, Costa Rica, Mauricio Pupi Cubillo. Su rival en la esquina roja, his opponent in the red corner, wearing red with white, vestido de rojo con blanco. Sobre la báscula, marcó un peso oficial de 134 libras y 3 cuartos. On the scale, he registered an official 134 3/4 pounds. Entra en su 10º combate a nivel profesional, con 7 victorias y 2 derrotas. He enters la jaula for the 10th time as a pro, with 7 victories against 2 losses. Fighting out of the Bronx, New York, the Mexicutioner, Leodegario Muñiz. El referee, Alan Iacobellis.
Third inside the jaula, Alan Iacobellis.
All right, obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. If you want to touch him up, go ahead. Come out, fight. Judge. Judge. Yes, sir. Judge.
Mauricio Cubillo and the man from the Boogie Down Bronx, Leodegario Muñiz.
Muñiz is going to go right for the start. He's going to show those hands. Cubillo needs to be patient. Go to the floor. Test around some of that jiu-jitsu game that he has.
Muñiz in red and white. He has lived a life known as the Mexicutioner. Fights out of the Bronx, was from the Bronx. Parents are Mexico. He was born and raised in the United States, which describes so many in this country. Combination from Cubillo.
Oh, great striking there from Muñiz. Cubillo told me that he trained the old Japanese jiu-jitsu.
Lots of punches early on.
Yeah. Oh, Muñiz is great body shots too by Muñiz. Man, he's looking fierce in there. Great
sure
hands.
Is. One-way traffic there with the punching. Cubillo tries to fight back, but he's always second. Now he kicks the lead leg. That worked.
That's going to stop Muñiz from coming in forward and pressuring him. Cubillo needs to keep those hands up, though. Great setup there. That 1-2 feint kick. That's all the pace for Muñiz from coming in forward.
His corner is making quite a soundtrack every time he connects.
Yeah. Well, it goes back, Max, to explain that, especially in Muay Thai. When you get a nice little kick in there, you kind of get that, it's a fight thing. I can explain it.
Lupe Cubillo, May of this year, lost to Justin Vasquez, an up-and-comer at featherweight. That went the distance. April, a month earlier, April of 2019, so there was almost a 3-year gap between fights. He won via
great
submission.
body shot, Max. He hit him with that right to the body. Muñiz felt it.
Cubillo's really responded well.
Ooh. By the way, congrats to Muñiz. He's a father again. Now he has 4 children.
Nice work.
In November.
Muñiz, who has some high-level jiu-jitsu.
Oh, he's called. A little smack talk there.
Yeah, you can see that. You wanted the jiu-jitsu. He says, not yet, not yet. Muñiz says when he's on the outside, he gets goosebumps. And getting inside the jaula fills a void I have. He's always looking to fill that void. That's where he had this rope access we showed you at the beginning of the show, where he would drop after a 6-year hiatus from MMA, 800 feet building in New York City, historic New York buildings, dropping on a rope.
Wild.
It filled the void a little bit, but he said MMA did the job, and he returned, and here he is.
Wild, wild.
Cubillo blocking that one.
I know he did it. I look up in the 2nd floor, I'm already afraid of heights.
Don't even get me started. You could rule me out immediately. But Muñiz challenges himself in a great many ways.
And if he got hurt there, because Cubillo kind of gave him his shoulder. Muñiz corner telling him to circle. Switching his stance there for Cubillo.
Muñiz tries to close the gap here. Comes into this fight with a record of 7-2. That's why he's number 3 in the bantamweights. He wants that title shot if he is able to get through.
Look at that shot from the corner.
Muñiz, who fought in Copa Combate last year, he defeated Pierre de Aguzan, first round TKO. Then he lost to Kevin Cordero in the semifinals.
Mauricio going in, toe-to-toe, Muñiz. Trading hands.
Under a minute to go. Combination, doubling up Muñiz, tripling up, now to the body.
Cubillo needs to protect himself here. Can't take those shots, even though he does have that guard up. Oh, shot to the rib area, liver area there.
Cubillo can take a lot, and then he still has something to give. Changes stances. Muñiz goes upstairs. We talked about the Copa Combate. Prior to that, Muñiz beat Hector Fajardo August of 2021. Actually beat Fajardo twice.
Yep.
And then there was a 6-year gap when he lost to Ricky Bandejas, who we've seen here in Combate.
Notable veteran of the sport. Also competed in Copa Combate as a reserve.
Not all he's getting through, but some of them are, as we are going to get to the end of the first round. Maybe a chance of a guillotine. There is nothing to pursue. Big elbow by Muñiz. End of round 1 has arrived. In between rounds here, Boopy versus the Mexicutioner.
Muñiz laying in just from the start, laying in those hands, fast and furious, but Cubillo very patient, waiting, attacking the body. At one point, Mauricio calling in Muñiz to the floor, but Muñiz wasn't having any of it.
That was an interesting moment because he said he was talking about his
ground game.
Yeah. Back here for round 2, Leo Degario Muñiz looking like he did enough in round 1 to strike, but Cubillo took a lot. Not many gilt edge blows that really hurt Cubillo, and there he goes. He blocks a lot of it.
It could be the strategy, Max, that Cubillo is letting Muñiz to come in and tire himself with those punches, but so far, lots of gas in the tank from Muñiz.
Started finding involved in a lot of sports, Muñiz. Dad always wanted to keep him busy in the Bronx, knowing that that area was a tough place for a kid. Keep your mind active, stay out of trouble. Did a fine job, and now his son, Muñiz, number 3 bantamweight in Combate. Chance to move higher.
Muñiz with a feint, throwing in with a cross.
Stop in the action, and mouthpiece.
Did he forget the mouthpiece?
Whoopsie.
Man, okay. Big no-no.
And Muñiz looking to test that mouthpiece right away. Single leg here.
Great takedown, beautiful. Now let's see some of that jiu-jitsu game that could be up.
Excellent transition, but he relinquished it. Muñiz still striking.
Muñiz, great work to the body.
Cubillo keeps blocking everything, almost everything.
Oh, he connected with that one, Max.
One got through, and that changes it.
He may be breaking Cubillo.
Oh, big knee.
He may be breaking him down, Max.
Cubillo said bring it, but there's a chance there. He's covering the face.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that if I was Cubillo. I'll move around, angle out. He's just taking these shots, eating them.
A little blood around the nose. It's getting red. Cubillo now unable to defend himself well.
He needs to get out of this position. He is in a horrible position. He needs to move around. He's just eating these shots.
Well,
it's like a zombie right now.
He's a tough guy, but now he's blocking him. He's blocking most of it, not all of it. Uppercuts trying to slide in. That is where Muñiz is trying to do his damage. He's going to get tired throwing all of this. Cubillo's taking a lot.
And that might be the strategy.
Just take all this punishment.
Take all of it and I'll follow back.
Look at these elbows. Sharp elbow, root 1. Cubillo just takes it.
And Muñiz taking in that first round. We saw that open scoring. Yeah, Cubillo is just taking it.
Muñiz's corner saying hit the body. He's not going for the body. That's what's open. There it is.
Right.
On the button. Just a huge flurry of blows, about 90 seconds worth.
Muñiz the stockier of the two, so that extra muscle, Max, does make a big difference.
Yeah, we talked about Cubillo. He will sit there and wait in the weeds for a mistake. 10 professional wins, 9 submission victories. He has won via triangle choke, guillotine, anaconda choke, rear naked choke, Kimura, armbar. He is a crafty submission specialist, but it would appear, Rodolfo, He is waiting. He is being a glutton for punishment, hoping that something
Opens
pops
up.
up. And it could. If you can take the punishment.
It's like waiting for those Black Friday deals.
Just a little more painful. Oh, that one got through the guard. Another one.
Got
Onto the
clocked
jaw.
that left.
But he's got a good jaw. The best part of this defense is he's blocking most. If he doesn't block him, could be trouble.
Well, the power from Muñiz's punches is not the same.
Nope.
You know, they're coming in a little not as impactful as we saw it earlier on.
And that's got to be frustrating when you punch and punch. It's like the whole Rocky effect. You know, at some point, Clubber Lang or
At this
Apollo
point,
Creed are going to be fed up of throwing punches.
at this point in the fight, the punches, they could come at different impact. Some could just come in with a lot of power, some just to set it up. And that comes in play. How much power do you put into that punch? Do you go for the knockout? Do you break down your opponent and then little by little wait till you strike with a hard punch? But that takes a lot of energy from you. So far, we haven't seen Muñiz slow down that much. He's still being very aggressive offensively here, striking. He's not stopping.
He's still punching,
Right.
and we're reaching the end of this second round. So whatever the strategy of Cubillo, at some point he needs to be the offensive fighter.
And Muñiz has landed a lot of body shots.
Oh, big forearm elbow pushes Cubillo back.
And I just like how he just corners him and he throws in those elbows from all sorts of angles.
Cubillo's still in this fight. We told you his track record with submissions, but how much of this can he take? That was just a barrage from Muñiz. Clearly victorious in the second round after he won the first.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing that we saw in that first round. Muñiz attacking, flurry of punches. Cubillo taking him down. However, Muñiz right back on his feet to trade. Cubillo taking those shots. At one point, I really thought that Cubillo might be out and about, but maybe he was just playing possum. He was taking those shots. Muñiz, great, excellent work from those elbows from all angles, man. Look at that, right from the back. Cubillo, though, good on himself, protecting himself.
We are back for the third round, and let's see if this strategy works for Mauricio Cubillo.
Got a little cut in the nose.
I'm surprised he doesn't look worse off.
Seriously, yeah, because he's taking a lot of shots.
He never really was in peril of seeing this get out of hand. Never had a moment where we thought Iacobellis might jump in to potentially stop the fight.
You know, Cubillo was telling me that he wants to be...
Goes to the ground. This is what Cubillo wanted.
That's what he wanted. He wanted... Oh, great elbow there from that position. And now looking at something here, maybe a guillotine.
Remember, he can finish it in so many ways. He is a submission specialist. He's no one-trick pony.
Muñiz to a great overhand right.
Cubillo will look for a weakness and exploit it.
Yeah, Cubillo wants to be a role model for his country as a mixed martial artist. In fact, he represents a non-profit.
How much more does Muñiz have? Yeah, you mentioned he wants to open up. No surprise there with the scoring. He wants to open that MMA school in Santa Ana.
Oh, wait a minute, he
city
might
of San
stand here,
Jose.
Max.
That is dropped, and he finally found a way through, right on the top of the noggin, and down goes Cubillo. Muñiz. The pressure pays off. TKO, third round.
It was between that second and third. Cubillo went to his corner to check on. I couldn't see. I don't know if it was a mouthpiece or I did see him touching the nose, and I don't know why. Maybe that's when Muñiz attacked to win the fight. I'm sure we'll see a better understand. We'll have a better understanding when we look at the replay. But I saw him talk to his corner right before heading into the third. Here we go. It was a straight cross. But it almost seemed like he was touching his eye, like if he got poked, but he went down.
It wasn't a poke.
But it wasn't a poke.
That fist
But that's
was
the way
clenched.
he reacted. It reacted like he got poked. But no, it wasn't.
We don't know. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. I mean, but he took a lot of shots. Didn't show like they were affecting him until the very end. Good news, he's on his stool. We'll be back to check on Cubillo and get the official decision.
Mi nombre es Axel Osuna, tengo 23 años y vengo de Zapopan, en Guadalajara, Jalisco, México. Yo empecé yendo a entrenar porque mi papá me llevaba, no me gustaba en nada. Me enamoré de la competencia y del arte del que es competir y pues aquí estamos, haciéndolo toda la vida. La gente creo que no entiende el contexto del por qué el peleador mexicano o el mexicano como tal es tan duro, pero tiene que ver mucho con la forma en la que vivimos nosotros. Y yo lo he hecho muchas veces, no peleamos duro, vivimos duro. Y aprendes a vivir con eso todos los días. Eso te hace duro de carácter, te hace duro en el día a día y peleando creo que se nota bastante. Cuando entro a la jaula, una emoción, es un sentimiento distinto. Yo creo que no lo podré explicar, es mi hábitat natural y ahí me siento en plena paz, se podría decir. De mi contrincante sé bastante. He visto algunas peleas que ha hecho Combate, conozco a algunos de los peleadores a los que se ha enfrentado. Creo que va a ser una muy buena pelea, nuestros estilos van a empatar muy bien y va a ser una muy buena velada. ¿Cómo termina esta pelea? Llevo mucho tiempo pensando en eso. Sé que va a terminar con uno de los dos finalizado. Yo creo que él es duro, yo soy duro, lo voy a presionar mucho. Él o me finaliza a mí o lo finalizo yo a él. No hay otro escenario en el que yo me veo. David Solorzano, espero haya sido la mejor preparación de tu vida. Espero lo des todo dentro de la jaula, que yo voy a hacer lo mismo.
We are back. Good news. Mauricio Cubillo is up, but you can see right around that eye, it looks gnarly. Black and blue. Official decision. Let's go to Lupe Contreras.
El referee Alana Vélez detiene el combate con un tiempo oficial de 57 segundos del tercero y último asalto. Referee Alana Vélez stops this contest with an official time of 57 seconds of the third and final round. Your winner by way of technical knockout, el vencedor por knockout técnico, the Mexicutioner, Leodegario Muñiz.
8-2 for the man from the Bronx and the number 3 bantamweight. We'll see if he stays that way. There are two guys fighting next that would look to leapfrog him, all looking for that possible matchup with the Black Spartan, David Martinez. The strategy was take as much as you can and set up the sub as it comes.
And wait to maybe get a Hail Mary, but it just didn't work out for Cubillo, unfortunately. Right from the start, Muñiz was just letting that hands go, man, right from the bottom, from the top to the bottom, just nonstop, consistently. Cubillo's at one time called Muñiz to go to the floor, but he wasn't having any of it. And the pace slowed down in the second round, but he was consistent. He never gave up throwing in those hands. He knew that he was gonna finish his fight the same way he started for Muñiz. Great striking right from the top, working all levels, from the face to the body, back and forth, those elbows, side elbows. I mean, it was just nonstop. Great work from Muñiz, and it was right here, body shot, cross, hook. He was just having fun with this. He was picking and choosing where to strike. Consistent. Wow. Great stuff from Muñiz. Straight cross. That's the win for him. Was it enough to get that title shot? We're going to have to wait and see.
It is a comparison. You want whoever wins this main event and how Muñiz fought. The matchmakers, Campbell, McLaren, all the parties involved will probably have to go through with a fine-tooth comb to see what is the right direction. Who gets the nod, as you see the stats, and a huge edge, as we all saw with our own eyes, for Muñiz
That'd be a good fight, though, Muñiz and David Martinez. Both got hands. Interesting fight.
David Martinez, who looks close to untouchable when we seen him, but it's been a minute. Things change. As we now look forward to the main event, a couple more fights coming your way before we wrap it up on another Friday night. Summer winding down. And we remind you to check out the streaming service of Tu DN VIX, bringing you a new reality show, a battle of the gyms. Which is best? Four of the best gyms from around the world come together with their fighters to show they have the medal.
Great camp being featured, Goat Shed Academy, uppercut training in Spain, Sexton in California, and the Bone Breakers in Mexico. Great action.
We'll have all the coverage. You'll have the coaches mic'd up. It gets a little feisty in there.
So I was very disappointed to not see Mexico compete today, you know, and it's not a professional thing, you know, and I think it's very embarrassing, you know, and we have to maintain professionalism.
Hay muchos factores. Todo equipo del mundo, cuanto más experiencia tiene, alguna vez ha fallado el peso.
It's main event time. Undefeated David Solorzano, once defeated Axel Osuna. Both with their eyes on the prize, a shot at the bantamweight champion. It is arguably the best division in Combate Global, and these two guys a big reason why, and they will meet next in La Jaula. Let's get to meet the fighters who will be competing in this main event. Solorzano Osuna. Let's see what these guys are made of.
I like to be methodical. I like to plan out my my combos, my takedowns. I want to show everybody I'm a smart fighter, not a tough fighter. Because I already know I'm tough, but I just want to show that I'm an intelligent fighter. I've been practicing with one of the best Abu Dhabi champions when it comes to wrestling, so I'm not really worried at all about the takedowns at all. Stay focused, tunnel vision, get the W at any cost. Doesn't matter if it's knockout, decision, or submission, just go for it. Axel, let's just have a good fight, my man. That's it. Let's bring it. We're the main event. Let's go for it.
Solorzano, the 28-year-old from San Francisco. From a fighting family, his uncles fought, his dad was a Golden Gloves fighter, mom was an athlete, said it was a competitive household, and this was obviously the direction he was headed. Did not distinguish himself as an amateur. 10 wins, 10 losses. Became a pro, everything fell into place.
Everything changes when you become a pro. Let's see what he's all about tonight. He's been training some Abu Dhabi champions. Let's see if we see that inside La Jaula tonight.
Now his opponent, Axel Osuna.
La gente no entiende el contexto del por qué el peleador mexicano o el mexicano como tal es tan duro. No peleamos duro, vivimos duro. Cuando entro a la jaula es mi hábitat natural y ahí me siento en plena paz. ¡Osuna! Representar mi ciudad dentro de combate creo que es algo muy importante. Actualmente entreno con el equipo de lucha de Jalisco y la identidad que nosotros forjamos y cómo portamos nosotros nuestra bandera, nuestro honor es sumamente importante para nosotros. Sé que va a terminar con uno de los dos finalizados. No hay otro escenario en el que yo me veo.
Axel Osuna started his Combate career as a flyweight. He has now moved into bantamweight. Look at that boxing record. 103 fights. He won 100 of him. But that's a bit deceiving because he's so good on the ground. And I love what he said there. They say it's not just Mexicans, we fight hard, we live hard. So it's a reflection on our day-to-day, and that comes out on the way we fight.
Tough as nails. It reminds me of the Thai. When you look at their records in Muay Thai, they have 150-3, similar to what Axel has here in his boxing experience as an amateur. But he wanted to up his game. He took himself to Las Vegas, trained with some studs out there, let's see what that did for his fight game against Solorzano here tonight inside La Jaula.
Head-to-head, cara a cara, both very young in the game. Solorzano 3 inches taller, 4 inches versus the reach. We are at the 136-pound limit at bantamweight, both fighters making it clean. It's a great matchup. The matchmakers are thrilled about it, and it's here. Let's go to Lupe Contreras to make it official.
Este es el duelo estelar de esta noche. 3 vueltas, división peso gallo. This is the main event. 3 rounds in the bantamweight division. Los jueces son, the judges are Byron Sellers, Eliseo Rodríguez y Dorian Mirasola. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando en la esquina azul, vestido de azul con vivos blancos. Presenting the blue corner, he enters wearing blue with white trim. His official weight, 134.5 pounds. Su peso oficial, 134 libras y media. Esta noche, entra a la jaula invicto en 5 combates profesionales. Tonight, he enters la jaula undefeated as a pro with 5 victories. De San Francisco, California, the Silent Killer, David Solorzano. En la esquina roja, vestido del tricolor mexicano verde, blanco y rojo in the red corner, wearing the colors of Mexico, green, white, and red. Su peso oficial, 134 libras y 3 cuartos. His official weight, 134.75 pounds. Entra en su 6º combate dentro de la jaula, con 4 victorias y 1 derrota. Tonight, he enters la jaula for the 6th time as a professional, with 4 victories against 1 lone defeat. De sangre tapatilla, Guadalajara, Jalisco, México, Axel, El Charro Osuna. El referee, Marcos Pérez.
Marcos Pérez, the 3rd inside
Fighter,
La Jaula.
come on. Stop. Okay, so you know the rules. I want a clean fight, okay? Follow my command at all times. Okay? Ya sabes las reglas. Okay, quiero una pelea limpia. Sigue mi comando en todo momento, okay? Touching glove. Go to your corner.
Amen. Built in combat, Axel Osuna and David Solorzano looking to maintain that perfect record. We are underway. USA versus Mexico. San Francisco versus Guadalajara. It is Solorzano in blue.
Solorzano needs to use that footwork to get around. Axel's boxing has improved a lot. He's known for that submission game, but Solorzano has been training with champions who's competed in Abu Dhabi. That will come in handy, but that is what he needs to do. Angle, movement, footwork, because Axel will trade hands with you.
Osuna, 4 professional wins, 3 via submission, 1 via TKO. So nothing goes the distance. His 1 defeat did go the distance back in June, losing to Reyes Cortez Jr. We talked about 103 in boxing. He's 5-0 in Muay Thai, and he's now 4-1 in MMA. He's a winner, and he fights a lot.
Very consistent. Last time we saw Solorzano was a victory against Raymond Ramos, known for his striking. Solorzano's corner telling to pick him apart. That means that you're gonna have to use that jab, cross, work the body, not just go for the head. Axel going to the ground, trying to go to the ground game already, Max.
Yeah, Solorzano showing strength, and you saw that one time Osuna went down. Solorzano immediately says, get up, not biting.
Let's work, let's work.
But again, that incredible boxing record. Osuna can beat you standing up, and certainly that's something that Maximiliano Gonzalez found out. That fight was in May, so a good 3-month gap between fights for Osuna. Solorzano, pardon me, Rodolfo, has fighting for the first time since September of last year.
Axel is dangerous on the feet and on the ground.
Stop, stop, stop.
Breaking the action.
Good check.
No kick from Axel. He checked it.
Oh! That one got through. Underhooks, and now Osuna brings Solorzano down.
Back up. Wrestle, 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 wrestle.
The corner of Solorzano, get the wrestle and get back to your feet. And this is where he did that camp. That's what he wanted to do, knowing he was fighting a submission specialist.
When you train with Abu Dhabi champions, you test yourself against those type of fighters, man. I mean, that just shows your improvement, that you're ready for battle.
Both these fighters having extensive camps to make sure the attention to detail in preparations was there. We talked about the Abu Dhabi wrestlers, Axel, Osuna. We also touched on fight camp in Las Vegas with Cobrinha BJJ.
It goes to show you that they want to improve in every single level. They just don't stick to one camp. And some gyms get a little jealous when you go somewhere else, but some of them are, hey, okay, fine, I understand that. It's okay to go over there to test a little bit about that and improve on this or that.
Solorzano has not been able to get off the mat. Brought down there about 90 seconds ago, and this is where the fight remains. He's trying to get up on the back of Osuna, who's got a really good anchor.
Yeah, Solorzano tried, or is trying to get those legs over to look for a triangle, but Osuna's just so good. He might even go for a slam here if Solorzano keeps those hands behind. Be able to pick him up.
Still trying to get upright.
Yeah, but Axel just uses his weight quite well. And
now he gets
here.
a shot. Little ray of light, and he sees it. Osuna changes levels, though. But so does Solorzano.
Pick that ankle. Take Solorzano under.
A warning there for Marcos Perez about separating it. Under a minute to go here in this opening round. Solorzano drops his weight on Osuna. Trying to get some leverage, but he's back down again.
And that yell there, Max, is Fernanda Larios, girlfriend of Axel, who's competed in Combate Global. That is his corner tonight.
Well, now it looks like he's going to remain on the ground. Solorzano just needs to survive. 20 seconds to go.
Some great elbow action from Axel.
Osuna's been so active on the ground, and now he's got some lines of fire. Lesson learned for Solorzano, don't go to the ground with Osuna. But it's a lesson he'll learn to tell in round two. You have to be pretty pleased if you're Osuna. That's, I mean, you apply the pressure, you got it to the ground, you send a message.
It's working out fine right now. Look at this, changing the levels, dodging. Great crisp boxing to exchange the blows. Solorzano there looked confident, but then Axel's power, man, just came through. Great positioning, applying his body, using La Hala, preventing Solorzano to get out, landing in some elbows, shots to the body from this position. And then Solorzano attempted to break that takedown, but Osuna followed through. Great work.
Back for round two, fighters exchanging smiles as they get ready. Osuna looking to duplicate that game plan, maybe take it to another level, but I would imagine he won that first round. Glad you could join us here on a Friday night live on Paramount Plus. Max Bretos, Rodolfo Roman.
Solorzano needs to stick and move, angle, footwork, very important here.
Kick upstairs, Osuna showing his length, even though that was going to be a disadvantage, you would think, against the taller fighter.
With those shots, Osuna wants to go for the finish, Max.
He's coming hard, strong.
Ooh, look at that. Over right hand.
Osuna, who's on his father's side, had a connection with law enforcement. That's where he kind of dipped his toe in the MMA.
Open scoring, Max, that first round.
No
going
surprise.
straight to Osuna, yep.
Just dominant on the ground for the last 2.5 minutes.
You know, we talk about
good right hand.
corners letting their fighters know the scoring, but does the corner tell Osuna, hey, You got to win in fashion here because Muñiz just won if you want that title shot.
Well, he's doing it. He is doing it. He's making Solorzano look pretty average right now through a round and a minute 20. He's feeling it too, getting into a nice groove. The ball falls into Solorzano's court, who did tell us, I want to show that I'm an intelligent fighter. And that's one thing, but you're dealing with a well-oiled machine who's really connecting.
Great body work. Solorzano.
Wild miss.
Yeah.
You got that. You've been healthy fighting that.
Usually when you just throws wild punches like that, you're just desperate. Great jab though from Solorzano.
Over top right, Osuna doing everything he wants. Bobbing and weaving, feeling confident. Left hook catches the ribs, body shots delivered.
Those body shots will break you down.
You gotta push it.
Yeah, Solorzano looking to hit a reset button possibly. It's not gone to plan.
You got to bring in that jab.
He does it there, but he needs to do it repetitively.
More.
Connect.
Yeah, that's what the corner says.
You got to connect the jab and then footwork.
Yeah, Osuna being the aggressor, looking for that spot to possibly take this fight to the ground again. And I think that's what's in Solorzano's head too. He doesn't want to be dragged into those submission possibilities.
Osuna's just waiting for that cross or a hook.
Back up circle, don't back up straight. Let your right hand go, kid. Let your right hand go, kid.
See, you heard the corner, Solorzano. Back up circle, not straight. You have to angle. Osuna's going to come right at you.
Fighting out of Dragon House in San Francisco, a place that's created so many good fighters. Getting that extra training, knew this was going to be his biggest challenge to date.
Ooh. That's a body shot from Solorzano.
That's how you set that toe.
Yep, and his corner approves how to set it up. Got to start somewhere.
But as soon as you land that body shot,
there it goes.
For the angles.
That one backed up. Osuna really for the first time tonight.
Oh.
Easy takedown.
Osuna going to the ground game. Well, let's see that work that he put with Abu Dhabi champions, how that comes into play right here in the second round.
Wrist control. Hold him down. Got to work on wrist control. He's in a laying break.
I couldn't hear clearly, but I heard Osuna's corners questioning, I guess, Solorzano's belt, jiu-jitsu belt. He's a purple belt. I think that's what I heard.
So that's fighting words. He does have a purple belt, or
in other words, like you're gonna put up your belt against his.
You got 1 minute.
We've seen it before. It works in pro wrestling.
Solo work. Let's go.
Yeah,
got
he's
the mount.
trapped again.
There it is.
Osuna's now getting the back.
Get to the cage.
Osuna smells a win here. He may look for that rear naked. The Hala's in the way though. Laying in those punches, just positioning his body, not allowing Solorzano to get out.
It was really interesting because Solorzano had his first 2 impact punches. Osuna went back, and when he came back, took him down.
Yeah.
It was almost like he suckered him in.
Yeah. He caught him right there. He fed into it. Oh, man, you saw how Solorzano had his hand in the back. Great position for Osuna to strike. Oh.
Solorzano will see the 3rd round, but he is going to have to dig deep to keep his unbeaten record. And it'll come down to this. Solorzano.
Took us some time to get up.
Yeah, he has been worn out.
Let's take a look at the highlights. Great overhand right, follow through with a cross. Again, exchanges. Solorzano though landing some shots to the body. Kick from Osuna. Great bobbing and weaving, great boxing. Another overhand. I mean, this man is just unstoppable, vicious. And then that single with a double leg takedown. Grappling in here towards the end of the round, softening up Solorzano. However, he didn't have enough time to conclude this fight as Solorzano lives to the 3rd round.
We are back. Axel Osuna bouncing around in front of his corner. A confident fighter. He wants the clean sweep.
He wants that finish, Max.
Yeah, he does. Oh, and he comes in with that left hand.
Big
He
mistake.
has-
Yeah, Solorzano, a big mistake though, as he crunched down.
And he wants to break down the will of Solorzano, and this is a different Solorzano that we have seen in previous fights, granted a year ago. Maybe that's part of the equation, but I don't want to take anything away from Axel Osuna. He has just been energized, on his toes, has not put one step out of place.
Solorzano is very patient. He needs to push the pace. He needs to bring the fight to Osuna.
Well, it's both fighters really pushed the title of being an intelligent fighter. He said what Solorzano said. Osuna said, I consider myself an intelligent fighter. By the way, I've never had a fight go to decision. One of us will finish the other. There is no other way. Well, he has 4 minutes to make that ring true. He won the second round in our official scoring. Marcos Perez will break it up.
This right here favors Osuna. He needs to be fierce.
Don't hesitate. Go for it.
Solorzano hasn't got it. His corner's really urging him on.
Yeah, he's forcing Solorzano to fight, to throw.
Go for it. Over.
He's calling him in.
First 2 wins for Solorzano were first round knockouts, so he's capable.
Jab, Solo.
But those arms have just stopped. And that is the work of Osuna.
And if you take a look at that fight against Raymond Ramos,
His hand is right there.
it's very similar. Even Ramos was telling him, let's go, throw. Solorzano needs to stop being patient. He needs to let them hands go. You have 3 minutes to go.
David Martinez, the bantamweight champion. Number 1 is Franz Mlambo, the Irishman who has been inactive. Number 2, Kevin Cordero. We saw the number 3 in Leo Degario Muñiz. Solorzano's 4, Osuna's 7. And Osuna, with this performance, my guess, will jump a bunch of those guys.
Oh,
blood on the top of the head.
I don't know if he caught that from a shot, from an elbow.
Oh, and now here is Osuna. He wants to finish it, and here's his chance.
Osuna knows where that blood's coming from. He's gonna attack it like there's no tomorrow.
Well, the expression, he sees blood, that's exactly what Osuna just did. Literally trying to get through the guard. 2 minutes, 15 seconds to go.
Yeah, I think it came from an elbow.
He's broken the will of Solorzano. Solorzano just wants to survive at this point. I don't think there's any designs of a miraculous comeback.
He has 2 minutes unless he pulls some sort of an armbar submission or triangle.
That's Osuna's game.
Yeah.
He has all the cards right now.
If he knows how to apply it, I'm sure he knows how to defend it. So Solorzano's in a tough position here. Not doing much.
Oh, and it's maybe just a moment away.
Referee might step in.
Rear naked.
Rear naked opportunity here.
You gotta love the fight by Solorzano. He doesn't want to be submitted. He doesn't want this fight to be stopped.
Referee just warned Solorzano, you need to do something. Stopping it. There it is.
That's just magnificent from Osuna. He wanted to finish. He didn't have to be aggressive in this third round. The fight was won. Doesn't matter. He said it was going to finish. He got his finish. That is big time.
Now Solorzano looked up at the referee, say, why'd you stop it? But let's face it, he wasn't doing much.
Osuna looks like he could still go, and a nice embrace from the girlfriend.
Nandalarios, who's competed here in La Jaula.
Look at that cut on the head. That's pretty gnarly.
That must have been from an elbow.
He's a good dude, David Solorzano.
Yeah, there, look, they're right there. Boom, there's the elbow. Cut him right open. Yeah, there's no way of questioning that. He just was in a tough position and wasn't gonna get out of that. Osuna is just non-stop connecting shots. It's a good call.
Couple warnings. Solorzano did his best. Got beat up pretty good there by Osuna. Still a tremendous fighter. We'll get the official decision next.
My name is Mariah Castro. I'm 27 and I'm fighting out of Kearney, New Jersey. I started fighting because I played every other sport and it just got dull. It just wasn't practical to me. I started, karate, then I got into boxing lessons and it just evolved from there.
Hi, my name is Guadalupe Mateo. My nickname is Dynamite Kid. I'm 27 years old and I come from Homestead, Florida. I originally started down in Homestead. There was a little boxing gym there. I started actually with my younger brother and I took it to the next level and started to do MMA. About Mariah Castro, I do know she has plenty of fights and she's well-rounded, but I feel like she has holes that I can take advantage of.
I do expect her to definitely bring it and kind of be in my face the whole time. That's what I'm prepared for. That's what I have prepared for.
Mariah Castro, I know you're a really good fighter, but I'm ready for whatever you got.
All I can say is, Lupe, you're in for a long night. If you plan on coming forward, just plan on running into some things.
We are back. Axel Osuna looks physically marvelous, and he even looked better inside the jaula in a comprehensive third round referee stoppage over David Solorzano. Let's go back in the jaula, get the officials from Lupe Contreras.
El referee Marcos Pérez detiene la contienda con un tiempo oficial de 3 minutos 38 segundos del tercero y último asalto. Referee Marcos Pérez stops this contest with an official time of 3 minutes 38 seconds of the third and final round, declaring the winner by way of technical knockout, declarando el vencedor por nocaut técnico de sangre tapatía, el charro, Axel Osuna.
Back-to-back wins to improve to 5-1. All right, Rodolfo, who do you get the nod to? Muñiz or Osuna? Stop dodging me.
Man, there's so many things that go into make a decision
I'm looking for one word.
Let's look at the highlights, all right? Solorzano here just didn't bring it. He didn't let himself go. Osuna was the one that was pushing the pace the entire bout. Using the positioning here, going for the takedowns. Great overhand right from Osuna. Just non-stop action. Man, didn't stop at one point. I think it was back in the third round. As we look at this referee position or camera, softening up Solorzano, grabbing in that wrist, laying in those vicious elbows. But there was a point, I think it was in the third round, where they just stood there forcing Solorzano to do something. Let's fight, let's go.
Look how clean he looks.
Yeah.
Barely a hair out of place. Comprehensive. He's just a really good talent. And the stats very telling. 3-1 on punches, 20-2 on kicks, and the takedowns all in favor of Osuna, who's been really impressive. And I think I've called all his fights. That was his most impressive. And I'll answer the question for you. Osuna's the guy.
I think so too.
Martinez Osuna.
You got a young stud, young blood, fast, crisp boxing. Not to take anything away from Muñiz. Muñiz did an excellent job. But I think that Osuna's boxing is a little bit more crisp, and his ground game. He has good advantage of the ground game. We haven't seen Martinez being tested on the floor.
Coming up, the fight that Rodolfo's guaranteed will steal the night. We are in Miami, the site of Combate Global, the home of La Jaula. And we're ready for our next bout. Mariah Castro talking the big talk. She's already got that down pat. She has the talent based on everyone we ask. But now how will she perform? Under the spotlight, Guadalupe Mateo, and from not too far, just south of Miami here in Homestead, Florida, we're ready for our women's bout. Let's go to Lupe Contreras.
Entrando a la jaula, Mariah Castro.
Mariah Castro from Kearney, New Jersey, has produced a lot of great athletes, not so much fighters, but this is someone who has gone through the ranks and come up with the goods to the point where she has been brought here. She is graduated from Seton Hall University with a degree in broadcasting. Maybe she can take Rodolfo's job one day, I don't know. But she right now is focusing on her MMA career.
Great wrestling, great hands. This young lady is looking forward to her professional debut. Took her 4 years until she took her first amateur MMA fight. This goes to show you that she wanted to make sure she was 100% ready to go to battle before she made that amateur
Her opponent
debut.
to Lupe we go.
Su contraria, Lupe Mateo.
Lupe Mateo, as we said, from Homestead, Florida, moved closer to her gym of freedom fighters so that she could take this seriously. It's a great gym. They got her going. She traveled about 45 minutes every day, almost twice a day to train. This is her passion, and now she makes her professional debut. Her family's behind her. They call her the Dynamite Kid. She's ready to go.
Aggressive fighter, look out for those hands. And she can take a punch too. She has a strong jaw. Anything that comes her way, she's gonna go ahead and just duke it out in the pocket. Great defense when it comes to the takedown. Trust me, guys, don't blink.
Well, you heard it from the man as we go head-to-head, cara a cara, both 27, just getting started in the MMA career. That's still very young. 3-inch height advantage for Castro. 6-inch reach for Mateo. Let's see how that comes into play. It is at a catch weight of 110 pounds. We imagine both of these fighters project as atom weights. Lupe Contreras, if you will.
Continuamos con mucha más acción. 3 vueltas a un peso pactado a 110 libras. We continue with much more action. This bout 3 rounds. At a catch weight of 110 pounds, los jueces, the judges. Richard Green Jr., Byron Sellers y Eliseo Rodríguez. Presentando la esquina azul, vestida de negro, presenting the blue corner, wearing black. Su peso oficial, 108 libras y 3 cuartos. Her official weight, 108 3/4 pounds. Esta noche se lanza a las ligas mayores en las artes marciales mixtas. Dentro de la jaula de Combate Global tonight, she makes the leap into the major leagues of MMA inside of la jaula. Fighting out of Kearney, New Jersey, Mariah Castro. Su oponente en la esquina roja, vestida de blanco. Her opponent in the red corner, wearing white. Su peso oficial, 109 libras y 3 cuartos. Her official weight, 109 3/4 pounds. Igual que su rival, esta noche hace su debut dentro de la jaula de Combate Global like her opponent. She is making her debut inside of la jaula. Fighting out of Homestead, Florida, the Dynamite Kid, Lupe Mateo. El referee, Iacobellis.
Iacobellis the third inside la jaula. Lupe Mateo, Mariah Castro.
Fighter, you ready? Fighter, you ready? Fight! All right, footwork is gonna be very important for Castro. Lupe, she just needs to push that pace. She's gonna come out brawling right from the start. We're gonna determine where this fight goes in these first few seconds of this round. Do they test each other or they just go?
Castro already, you can see, has a pretty developed stand-up. Feet or hands all in the right position. Big high kick. Catches the top of the head of Mateo. Castro all in black. Switches stances right away. Trains out of Carnicella MMA, and her and her coach, Paul Carnicella, pretty inseparable. He has been a big advocate for her and a big reason why she is ready for her pro debut and looking good in the process.
And expect to hear this fight to start off a little slow. Remember, it is their debut, so they're gonna test it out. Those butterflies are still roaming around there, Max. Is those first few shots is gonna just kind of bring you back to reality and say, okay, that's right, I'm fighting. By the way, shout out to Lupe for mentioning Homestead. It's just 30 years since Hurricane Andrew attacked South Florida.
It hit Homestead hard.
And it hit Homestead very, very hard. It's a whole brand new city now, but that storm, man.
Just so you know, Homestead, Florida, kind of the gateway to the Keys that you go all the way down and Marathon.
Florida City right before.
Right there, so that's where it goes to basically the southernmost tip of the United States. That's really the end of South Florida, the Miami area. As the underhooks.
Don't grab the fence, Mariah. And this is where Mariah show up. Lupe will find that to break the clinch and just trade blows. Look for elbows, look for striking. Very fast.
30 years since Hurricane Andrew.
30 years, ain't crazy? Castro now using the wrestling to bring down Lupe. That's what she needs to do, is gonna slow down Lupe. Because Lupe, if you let her strike, man, she's not gonna stop.
Trains martial arts for 7 years, Castro. How is her ground game?
Great shoulder block, or shoulder shots from Castro. You talked about her ground game, Max. Lupe trains with the Freedom Fighters. Ray Fundora is the jiu-jitsu coach there. Great reversal. There's your question, Max. You asked about it. She's able to overcome that position and bring this fight to the feet where she likes to compete. This is where it's gonna get fun. We're already 2.5 minutes into this fight. Those butterflies are out the door now.
Back standing up. Good start for both fighters. They've had their bright spots.
There we go.
A little better, but good counter punch there from Mateo.
Just wait till they just let themselves go. You can hear the corner of Lupe say, well, look for the middle, the center of La Jaula. That's where she finds much comfort, where she likes to throw.
Good right hand, Mateo. Castro trying to engage. A little wipe of the eye, that's never a great sign.
If Castro feels that Lupe is throwing too much, he's gonna go to the ground.
Mateo looks like a strong fighter. She's just towering there. We mentioned that long reach, and you can see it in the wingspan of her arms. They're green. There's no doubt about it, these fighters. You can see they're getting started, but you can see the talent, too.
It's there.
Good right hands. Oh, right on the button.
There's that trading. Telling you, Max.
Castro ate it. Walked right through it. Now the engagement. Castro dropping Mateo.
And good for Castro, because Lupe has great striking. She knows what she's all about. So she brought it right to the floor. Lupe's gonna escape this, try to take this fight right to the feet.
She's got that leg, just keeping her from the mount. Castro almost into the mount, trying to clear that leg. Peppering. Now she's got big control. Under a minute to go in this opening round, but Mariah Castro trying to end it here.
Some shots there. Castro working the body, looking the shot, the head. Watch out for the up kick from Lupe.
27-year-old Mateo keeping some distance between her and Castro, some heel kicks. Two solid strikes to the grounded Mateo.
Just waiting to get that to the floor here. Castro, watch out with the arm. Nope. More shots.
We'll go to round two. Some redness around the left side of the mouth of Mateo.
Great work here. Castro into the clinch. Lupe has great advantage with the striking, so Castro did her homework, took the fight to the floor, but Lupe, great countering, transitioning to take the feet to the fight right to the feet. Great kick, exchanging, but it was Castro reading Lupe from a mile away to stop her from striking. If you let Lupe throw them hands, boy, you gotta watch out, because they could take you out.
Seconds out! Seconds out!
We are back for round two, and you can see Mariah Castro has disfigured the face a little bit of Lupe Mateo. It's got just a welt right above her lip, her upper lip.
Some swelling there already. You hear
Round
the
two.
corner of Lupe. Aprendela, meaning just hit her hard.
Get in there. The Freedom Fighters in the corner of Mateo. Just like so many fighters here, she very busy outside of the jaula, makes handmade bracelets, is an artist. She's a legit striker. That's what she does. So I don't know about the ground game, but you can see Castro has the edge there based on what we saw at the end of the first round, and Castro wins round one according to all three judges.
Oh, Castro's doing is, see that stance? There's some space in between the ladies. She's doing that on purpose so she can call in Lupe to strike. But if Castro feels a little pressure by her striking, she has the space to go and take her down. See, you hear the corner, watch out, because she's gonna look for the takedown, and rightfully so. Look at that opening between the two. That space in gives her a lot of chance there for Castro to go for that single leg or double leg and take Lupe to the floor. So she needs to play that distance, work that footwork. Castro's doing what she needs to do to stop Lupe throwing them hands.
In pursuit, better here from Lupe Mateo, getting some punches off. Wants to keep this standing up. And just as I say that, Castro gets in close.
Castro, she's cornering her off.
Castro's strong. Good center of gravity, although Mateo spins it.
That's where Lupe wants to get. She wants to bring in Castro. As soon as she goes for the clinch work,
good kick.
You have to grab her in the house, and she just changed. Just exchanging, Max.
Castro was going backwards there. Mateo with good volume.
Castro respects the hands of Lupe.
Careful.
Great calf kick.
She eats the kick and comes out with 6-7 punches. You can see the corner, Paul Carnicella, very demonstrative, trying to get the attention of his fighter.
Lupe chasing Castro. She wants to get her in the right position in the jaula so she can unleash. Or in the center. There it is. Now that she can find some opportunities from there, some knees, some elbows. Castro now, she's gonna go for the takedown.
Castro, this is what she did in the first round to really squeeze and get the judges' approval.
Does Lupe have the energy to overcome this position and take the fight to the feet again? To get that fisheye angle.
Into the guard. And this is where Mariah Castro feels comfortable. Her said her dad is a fanboy. That was a direct quote when he watches me fight. My mom can't watch.
Lupe searching.
No toes in the cage, Lupe. Don't put your toes
Iacobellis warning it, and remember,
oh, man,
last week
don't mess
we
with the
saw
toes
him
of
deduct 2
Alan.
points.
She's taking the arm bar.
You can put your foot on it, you can't dig into the cage.
And there's no reason, if that were to happen, Alan doesn't need to stop the fight. He could just call, deduct the point, and the fight keeps going.
Maybe
Look at
something
Lupe.
crooked, trying to get an arm bar, but Mariah Castro into the side guard now.
Lupe has been hunting that arm bar.
No toes in the cage.
Second warning from Alan.
Watch the back of the head, Mariah.
Back to the feet.
Oh, knee.
Mateo
Castro.
by will gets back up.
He goes bringing it.
Under a minute to go. Mateo looking for a grandstand finish to this second round. Castro has to be a little frustrated. She's had 2 good situations on the ground.
And for Lupe as well, because every time she wants to exchange, Castro cuts her off and either takes the fight to the ground or goes to the clinch.
And there was a tie clinch there, now an underhook.
Work your frames, Mariah. There you go. Work your frames. Not taking it out.
So Lupe needs to use that jab, keep pushing forward, and push the pace. Because Castro's going to keep backing up, opening up that distance between the two, allowing her to go to takedown. So Lupe needs to be consistent here.
Reaching the end of the second round, Mariah Castro.
Yeah.
Looks to go 2 for 2. All right, round 3 we go. The question here in round 2, Mariah Castro, is she do enough to take a decisive edge on the scorecards?
Great calf kick from Castro. Lupe following up with them hands, letting them go. Clinch work, then taking her down, where Castro had much success Taking a look from the referee angle. Castro laying in some shots, working the body, working the face. And then here, a vicious knee. We didn't get to finish off that shot there, but Castro's playing a good strategy here. Playing that distance between the two.
Back for round 3. Guadalupe Mateo, the Dynamite Kid. Still a shot here. We'll see what happened with round 2. Mariah Castro's a little bit closer. We won't say anything. We'll see how it goes. Max Bretos, Rodolfo Roman, wrapping up our evening here on a Friday night, early Saturday morning. Combate Global on Paramount Plus. The world is watching. One of the fast-growing MMA companies delivering massive ratings in Latin America. And that will only expand the eyes of Europe. And certainly here in the United States, too.
This round should be fast-paced. Great 1-2 combo from Castro. Lupe needs to follow up. There it is. There's that exchange, Max.
Mixing it up nicely. Mateo, the jab. She's certainly in it, although she's going to need to finish this fight, having lost both rounds. Needs to stay on her feet.
This is where it's going to get interesting because I'm sure Lupe's corner told her, listen, you're down in the fight. You have to push the pace, and surely enough, this is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about, Max. That exchange.
Heavy hands from Mateo. Careful of the heel kick as she tries to close the gap. Allows her to get up. Probably not a bad strategy.
Watch, right now, Lupe will let go of them hands. She's not afraid.
Oh, good hand again there,
She'll
Mateo.
throw everything, Max.
Another right.
That's what I was talking about right here, Max.
On the button. Why is Castro exchanging here? She's got to get out of dodge. So much time remaining. She wants to get into the brawl as well.
As advertised, when you get that exchange.
Oh, another right hand by Mateo. Castro's looking groggy.
Lupe got the memo. She knows she was down, so she has to go for the finish. It's the only way she's going to win the fight.
Into the clinch. Castro throwing some knees. Mateo wisely backs away so she can get full range on these strikes.
Mateo coming in, not allowing Castro to go for the takedown. That's what she should have done from the start.
As always, Rodolfo was right. Great fight here. Two great prospects making their professional debut.
And as you get closer to the round, Mateo's just gonna let go. Look at that exchange.
And it's again Mateo with the upper hand. Tie clinch, backs away Castro. She's doing a little bit better and not getting in too deep with those exchanges.
And you may ask yourself, why is Castro not shooting? Why is she not going for takedowns? It's because Mateo is coming in. She's putting more pressure on her, not allowing that space between the two.
And if you do a takedown, you could get caught on the way in. Good right hand again. Mateo's looking to take this fight.
There's that exchange, man. I'm telling you.
Everyone inside the studios is energized. The corner of Castro. Paul Carcella yelling to stay out of those exchanges.
See
another right hand.
Mateo's just following her, exchanging.
140 to go. Another right on the chin.
Cross. There's the takedown. There's the takedown. Now it slows the momentum. But look at Mateo.
Sigue Lupe. Keep going, Lupe. But now Mariah Castro can do what she does best. Work the ground game. Eat that clock.
Yeah, she's desperately trying to take this fight straight to the feet. Castro just laying in there. She needs to be cautious. Look at that right arm. Mateo had it at one point. Castro wrapping up both of those legs. Watch out for them up kicks from Mateo. Great work from Castro, though.
And she just dips in there and have to question what Mateo has left. Under a minute to go.
It's exhausting for her. It's also frustrating because...
What a run she gave, though.
Yeah, in those 3 minutes and a half of this round, she had the upper hand.
Mateo's winning this round, but it's not going to be enough to win it unless you win it decisively. And I don't think there's a 10-8 round in it for her.
She has to move quick. She has to move quick. There's less than 30 seconds to go if she wants to a knockout victory. There we go. There she has to push the pace now. There it is. They're going to go all out, Max, right here. They're going to go all out, Max. They're going to go all out.
Mateo needs one punch.
Oh.
Castro connects. 5 seconds. 3. It's over.
Man. Great stuff from these women. I'm telling you.
Fight of the night, perhaps.
I'm telling you. Of course, it's over, but good job.
He's proud. These two fought like champions. You want to win this fight, but win or lose, both these fighters have a great foundation now.
Manola's proud of her, of his fighter. The difference in this fight is that first and second round and the takedown from Castro. That's the difference in the fight.
Great matchup and a great look into the future. The women deliver, as they always do. Rousing applause inside the studio for a rousing performance from two young women that put it out there and through to the final bell. Time now for the official decision. We go to Lupe.
Los tres jueces entregan tarjetas de 29 a 28. All three judges scored about 29 to 28 in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. A favor de la vencedora por decisión unánime. Mariah Castro.
Positivity for both fighters.
Yeah, it was the takedown. Mariah played that distance. You know, she gave enough space so she could go for the takedown. That third round, you saw what Lupe was all about. Let's take a look at the highlights from this competitive bout. Had the crowd there on their feet. Just non-stop exchange from Lupe. Knee from Castro, working the clinch very early on in the fight. Great cross from Castro. Great movement from that young lady, huh? And then here, on the ground game is where Castro had a lot of the impact that she was doing. Just great exchanging, though, from both these women. Making their debut inside La Jaula, just back and forth. Mateo, that was right here towards the end of the fight. She threw everything that she had. She got the memo that she was down, but that takedown is what made the difference. Is what ended up giving the judges the fight to Castro. Successful professional debut. Welcome to La Jaula. Congratulations, and I'm sure we'll see Mateo as well inside La Jaula again.
And it was at a 110 catch weight. We assumed they're going to 105, but maybe they put on some LBs and go to 115. The world is their oyster for these two fighters. Were really impressive and put us on a show. Let's look back at our evening's events. Lo de Gerardo Muñiz. And it wasn't easy. He was just throwing repeatedly at Mauricio Cubillo, whose game plan, Rodolfo, was to take punishment and maybe get a submission attempt in the third round.
Muñiz was stubborn, but he was confident that he'll finish off the fight the way he started, and he rightfully did. Connecting, jab, shots to the body. Cubillo, though, lots of heart, took the shots. He thought that he would gas out Muñiz by taking in that punishment, but no, it did not work for him, as Muñiz was just consistent pummeling Cubillo with elbows, even side elbows. I mean, this guy was putting everything into work. And then at the end, it was a cross that finished off this fight. Muñiz victorious, potentially in the run to get that title shot. We'll have to wait and see, because it was the main event.
Main event, also in bantamweight, David Solorzano, undefeated, facing Axel Osuna. Osuna looked amazing coming into the jaula. He looked even better in it.
What I liked about Osuna is that Solorzano wasn't pushing the pace. He was calling him in to fight. And that could be frustrating because you want to go ahead and exchange. But Osuna kept pressuring him, and he said, well, if you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it for you. Taking down Solorzano, breaking down this former undefeated fighter. Now the bosses, the jefes, have some digging to do.
Big decision.
Big decision. Is it Osuna or is it Muñiz who gets that crack at Martinez's strap?
They both earned it, but someone's going to be disappointed, we are sure. Make sure you join us next Friday. Justin Vasquez, Jair Perez in the featherweight division, and we are all done. It's been a pleasure to be with you as we are every Friday night. Big night in the bantamweights, big night for the ladies. On behalf of our entire crew, featuring Victor Maguey as well as our izquierdo, Rodolfo Roman. My name is Max Perro. Max Bretos, can't say my own name. I can't say this. Plácido Domingo.